hold my breath. When she sees me, tall and dark in the night, she'll freak. The red and white striped material is stretched to the breaking point across her hips. I give a karate yell and, with all my strength, slap her on the butt with my open palm. Oh, it's the hand. Palm is a hand. She screams louder than me, and just then the door opens, sending her backwards, and me with her. She's punching with her elbows and hollering like that babysitter in Halloween. The car lamp comes on as she turns, her face scrunched into the thin, limped growl. The coat hanger clenched in her hand like a murder weapon. It's Mom. I don't know which of us is more surprised. She has herself squeezed into a red and white uniform, but she still wears her slippers and the white ID bracelet with her name and blood type. Mom recovers first, takes a deep breath, stands, and brushes off her knees. She tosses the coat hanger, and she tosses the coat hanger in the basket. "You scared the shit out of me," she says, all irritated. I'm still shaking. I can't get over that it's her and not some maniac. "Go home, Ray. And here, I won't be needing this." She hands me the green leather purse, then reaches back and takes out her driver's license. "What are you doing?" I ask her, coming back to my senses. "Why are you dressed like this?" "I've had it," Mom says, slamming her hand into the roof of the car. "First he cheats on me. That's not news. Then he won't keep the car to ride me home. I can't read between those lines. Then they'll stash my clothes somewhere so I can't leave the goddamn hospital. Of my own free will. Now you show." I try to figure out what Mom is so upset about. She and Dad never live together for more than a week before they start picking on each other and taking divorce. But they never go through with that. Being married never stops either one of them from doing what they want. It doesn't interfere. "What's different?" I ask her. "Did I miss something?" "What's different? God damn him anyway. In all 15 going on 16 years of marriage, your father thinks he's in love." She pronounces the words as if it was spoiled fish in her mouth. "With some 22-year-old bubblehead doper named Arletta? Arletta?" I don't react much to suit Mom, so she sticks her face right under mine and yells up at me. "It's common knowledge. She's hanging off him in every bar in town. He might as well take her out and shoot me and get it over with." In the uniform, 2 or 3 sizes too small, Mom looks brushing with strength. Even in the dim lit light of the parking lot, Her eyes shine, and I notice she has brushed her hair and put on makeup. Brushed her hair and put on makeup was that last part. Let's go home, I say. I'm not going home. She settles herself behind the wheel, points toward my pocket for the keys, and I hand them over. She grips the armrest and slams the door. Don't let him have anything. Keep it for yourself. Hold on, I say, and run to the back of the car on the other side. She reaches over to push down the lock, but it doesn't work. I get in. What are you talking about? What I'm talking about, she starts loud, and then takes a breath, calms her voice. What I'm talking about is this. We're broke. We owe 2 months back rent on that lousy apartment. My unemployment is expired, and I'm tired of finding 2-bit jobs. I'm past 40 years old, and my husband wants to ditch me and marry some Arletta. I figure I've worn out my welcome in this world, and the only thing I've got that's worth anything is the insurance on this fucking car. So it's going to have a little accident, and you're going to win the lottery. Kiss me goodbye. She pushes her cheek at my face, but I pull back. Her hand is so tight on the wheel that her ring stands my attention, reflecting the light in the parking lot. Some of what she says is news to me, and some of it isn't. I stay put. Don't tell me, I say. You're going to Tacoma, to the park where Dad asked you to marry him, where I was conceived. This is the destination, she threatens whenever she's depressed, but she never actually goes. Don't think you're so goddamn smart. That's it, though, right? It's one place your father will understand, she says with a gleam in her eyes. It's a good hour away, even how Mom drives. Well, I'm coming too. I've always wanted to see the park since you talk so much about it. She turns her head and glares at me. If she could move objects by the force of her mind, I'd be out. It's a long walk back. She unclenched her hands and hoists them like claws, then bangs them back onto the steering wheel so hard the car shakes. She scares herself, and that scares me. She glances in my direction again, dared into actually going through with her pain, but I don't give an inch. I'm tired of convicting her to be responsible. She breaks out of the lot and peels into the street. All the way down the hill and across the bridge, she takes curves on 2 wheels. I try to calm her by reading signs, making jokes, but there's no getting through. A few blocks later, she guns the engine, sending the car up the south ramp of Interstate 5. The fingers of her right hand fiddle with the radio dial until she finds a station with a country song that matches her mood. Kenny Rogers crowd to the country, but it's just ending, and the next one that's playing is an old Patsy Cline song. To hell with that noise, she said, and switches it off. We drive for a long while in silence. The highway is wet, and the white and red lights from the cars around us are as bright as rocks underwater. The night air smells of wood pulp and rain. And from above comes the sound of jets flying low to land or take off at SeaTac. The flat buildings of the Boeing hangars are lit, and most of the traffic turns off on the airport exit. "You'll do all right, Ray," Mom says at last. Her voice is changed, dreamy, as if telling a story. The car is good for 1,000. I'm just sorry I lapsed this policy they took on me at the last job. We keep delivering. I think of things to say and then don't say them. I can't very well tell her that everything is great, that our life is so hot, that she is amazing, that she is imaging her troubles. Everything she says is true, but she's leaving too much out. Most of the time, Mom's off to the races. Excited at every chance, she fills out a dozen publishers' cleanings, house sweepstakes, sweepstakes tickets, and then watches the mail for the news she's won. The future never discourages her, since she doesn't think about it from a distance. "Go to Aunt Ida on the reservation," Mom says. "She liked you. She bought you a doll." She bought you a doll. Mom took me to her brother Lee's funeral in Montana when I was too little to remember much. Her mother, whom everybody, even Mom, calls Aunt Ida, visited us once in Seattle when I was about 8. I remember her, big and forbidding, a woman who refused to speak English and loved TV. Mom spends her present day Christmas and birthday. Mom spends her present every Christmas and birthday and makes me sign the card, but they aren't close. Mom always tells me how lucky I am, since her mother drives her crazy. Aunt Ida wouldn't know me if she fell over me. I wouldn't know her either. I try to think of her face without much luck. I have a sense in my mind from the night she was back home. Mom and I stood by the side of the tailways, trying to see through the bus windows to where Aunt Ida sat, and I had to keep waving and waving. I looked up at Mom to complain, to say I was tired, and she was biting her lip, as if she didn't want Aunt Ida to leave, but she stopped when she noticed me seeing, and we left before the bus did. "We could both go there," I suggest, thinking maybe that's what Mom wants to hear. Then, suddenly, I'm terrified she'll agree. The last thing I need is to leave Seattle and be stuck on some reservation with people I don't know. "Huh," she says, "I'm not going back there alone."